Hello guys, and welcome back to another Etheria restart video. Today we're taking a look at my Bornova after the imprint system update. And I'm not even going to lie. This character feels insane right now. Ever since imprints were added, Bornova's damage ceiling has gone way higher than before. You're not just getting raw stat boosts. You're amplifying what he already does best, which is consistent and high damage output. And once you start stacking those imprints properly, you really start to notice how hard he hits, especially in longer fights. Now, on top of that, we also got a buff to the Ace Batter shell. And this is actually a huge deal for Bornova. Basically, after the owner takes action, it follows up with an extra hit dealing 200% damage. And every time this triggers, the damage multiplier permanently increases from 200% up to 250%, stacking up to 5 times. That means in extended PvE content, this thing just keeps ramping. You're not just getting bonus damage. You're getting scaling damage that gets stronger the longer the fight goes. And for a unit like Bornova, who thrives in sustained fights, this is pretty much a perfect match. You can actually see it in the gameplay here. The longer the fight lasts, the more those follow-up hits start chunking enemies. And since it procs after every action, it adds a ton of extra pressure without needing any setup. Another big thing is that this shell has no initial cooldown now, so it starts working immediately. That alone makes it way more consistent compared to before. You're getting value from turn 1 instead of waiting, which is massive in both boss fights and longer PvE stages. And this is exactly why I'd say Ace Batter is now a top-tier shell option for Bornova, especially in endgame PvE. Boss fights, raid-style content, anything that doesn't end quickly. Now let's talk about why Bornova himself is such a strong DPS for endgame PvE. First off, his damage is extremely consistent. He's not one of those units that relies on very specific setups or conditions. He just outputs damage every turn, and with imprints boosting his stats, that baseline damage becomes very hard to compete with. Second, he scales incredibly well with longer fights, which is exactly what endgame PvE is all about. You're not trying to one-shot bosses. You need sustained damage over time, and Bornova excels at that. And third, his synergy with effects like Ace Batter just pushes him over the edge. When you combine his natural damage output with stacking follow-up damage, you're basically doubling down on what makes him strong. So overall, if you've invested into Bornova and you're playing into the imprint system, he's easily one of the most reliable and hardest-hitting DPS options for endgame PvE right now. And with the Ace Batter buff, he just got even better. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.